placed as a strategic advisor to Lockheed Martin UK, I know how hard it is to conduct a review like this, having coordinated the equivalent document in 2010. And I pay tribute to Professor John Bew and to all the officials who produced it. I agree with the Minister that it is the most comprehensive survey yet of the UK's national security challenges. I also think it gives a convincing analysis of a world which is fracturing into blocks and heading towards systemic competition. I welcome the confirmation that European security, NATO, and Britain's partnership with the US will, as Lord Stirrup said, be at the heart of our foreign policy. The Indo-Pacific passage turned out to be more measured than the advance hype suggested. Some increase in diplomatic activity, economic engagement, and military presence does make sense. But we have to be realistic. Britain will only ever be a secondary player in Asian security. The passage on China recognizes that we must treat the country as both a strategic competitor and a necessary partner on trade and climate change. I agree that's the difficult balancing act that we need to perform. But I want to underline three areas which I see as main weaknesses in the review. First of all, it's an impressively wide-ranging document, but it's not a strategy. I quote the US historian John Lewis Gaddis, who defines strategy as the alignment of potentially unlimited aspirations with necessarily limited capabilities. This review suggests British leadership in a whole series of areas, but as Baroness Annerley observes, it makes no effort to set priorities. In the 2010 and 2015 reviews, we did publish a prioritized list of the risks facing Britain, which at least offered some guide to resource allocation. This review, in effect, is a long laundry list of worthy goals, leaving the real choices to be made by ministers later. My second concern is it's not truly integrated. There is a large gap between the words of the review and the government's actions. That's clearest over the ambition for the UK to be a soft power superpower. That's a noble aim. The problem is the government's actions are undercutting it. Take development policy. DFID was a great soft power ambassador for Britain. It showed that we were practicing the values that we preached. Now, reducing the aid programme to 0.5% of a smaller GDP means making over £4 billion worth of cuts from one financial year to the next. It's the speed as well as the scale of those cuts that is going to have such a disruptive impact. Since the UK already has some long-term commitments to the multinational organisations like the World Bank, the burden will fall heaviest on the bilateral programmes in countries in desperate need like Yemen, Sudan, Somalia, Syria. The Foreign Secretary's statement yesterday, I felt, disguised the extent of those cuts, but they are inevitable. And they will mean stopping projects for humanitarian support, clean water, education, nutrition. And once staff are sacked, it will be very difficult to get them restarted. At the same time, my lords, the British Army is to create new Ranger battalions to train and mentor the armed forces of less advanced partners. I fear we risk cutting development spending and increasing military presence in the same regions, if not in the same countries. The Minister might wish to explain how that is an integrated approach. Finally, in 2 sentences, we are proposing to work with European partners, but not with the EU. How can we credibly aspire to be a superpower in soft power, science and technology, reshaping the world order, if we don't have a functional relationship with the EU? We will not have a real national strategy until we can overcome this taboo. Thank you.